So what actually context filter? So context filter is nothing but basically uh, context filter shows in a gray color, like in gray color in the filter shelf. Let's say I'm going to create a sample report here, category wise, subcategory wise sales. And let me apply colors on top of category. So I'm going to use both category as a filter. Click on this drop down, subcategory as a filter. So whenever you're going to use customer name show filter, basically you'll get directly from here. Okay, you can see you can use any of the dimension if you want to apply the filter, right? It's not complex directly. Okay, let me use the other data source, not the sample superstore 2. Let me use another data source, this one, because we applied data source filter, global filter, right, for that. So now I'm repeating the same. So category wise, category wise sales, and drop category into color. So whatever the navigation I have done, right, so it must be very fast, right? So we didn't apply any logic, but it should be very fast to create basic reports. Sorry, context, right? So context filter. So whenever you're going to, let's showcase the filter for both category and subcategory. So now in general, if it is a dimension, it showcases in blue color. If it is a measure, it showcases in green color, right? When you use show filter for measure, it you can see in green color. But my point is, like, context filter, basically it shows in gray color in the filter shelf. Okay, it will showcase in gray color. That's a context filter. And oh, let's do this, Control Z. So context filter shows in a gray color in the filter shelf, and it lists top in the filter shelf. That means, first of all, I have this both category and subcategory filter, correct? So can you reorder, right? Rearrange. So the order, you can place first subcategory, then category, correct? I'm able to drag it down. I'm able to like change the order of the filters, correct? Now category and subcategory, I can drag down to showcase subcategory and category, correct? So even I can drag and I can change the order of the filters. Now I'm going to create a context filter on top of subcategory. So how to create it? It's straight away similar to global filter. You have add to context, correct? So when you click on add to context, you can see here what are all the statements we discussed till now. So context filter shows in gray color. You can see it's in gray color. The subcategory filter, right? It shows in gray color in the filter shelf. And even context filter lists top in the filter shelf. Initially, you can go back. Initially, context filter, initially the subcategory is in the second position, right? First category and subcategory. Now, whenever I'm going to convert into context, subcategory into context, subcategory filter shows top in the filter shelf. And also you can see here, uh, like it lists top in the filter shelf and it shows in a gray color. Clear all? So this is what, like, you have both category and subcategory. And let's remove from context. You can change the order, right? You can see, you can switch the order. But But whenever I'm going to create this subcategory in the second position, but when you convert into context, this is showing in top, right? You can see, right? So subcategory filter shows in top in the filter shelf. Now let's try to bring down, right? Try to drag down, change the order. So I'm unable to do that. Okay. So you cannot interchange, like you cannot change the order of the filters whenever you apply the context filter. So context filter shows in gray color in the filter shelf. Let's stop in the filter shelf. It is independent. It is independent filter, and basically it creates a temporary table internally. It creates a temporary table when we create a context filter. You don't worry much about this statement. Internally, it will generate a temporary table. So that means, let's say we are getting data from one table, and when you create a context filter on top of subcategory, it will generate a separate temporary table for temporary in the sense like it will create a table. So something like the statement create table name, and we have subcategory in that, and it will insert the rows related to subcategory internally. That will I'll showcase that an example. I'll showcase at the end of the course. Okay, one of the option, it helps to get some set of details. But basically, what my point is, context filter shows in a gray color, at least top in the filter shelf. And when you look into this details, let's say I'm going to remove, let's say I'm going to apply a category into context, right click, add to context. So can you see any difference? Like I'm going to apply, let's say, and select furniture and select office supplies, select technology, I'm getting technology data. When you click on office supplies, I'm getting office supplies and technology. When you click on furniture, I'm getting all three records. So there is not much difference, right, between context and regular filter. You can remove and select, right? Not much difference, correct? I'll prove that why it is independent filter. Okay, so this is the statement. Just remember, it might help in interviews. You can tell that when we use context, it might create a temporary table for that. But it's clear, right? The first 2 points, like as I said, the fourth point is a generic statement, but first 2 points, it shows in the gray color. Yes, please.
Can you back up? I'm totally confused.
Yeah, I'm going to explain the same. I
Okay.
have two filters, category and subcategory. My simple question is, or simple point is, let's discuss this. I can interchange, right? The order. I'm just showing this option. It's not important, but I'm able to change the order of the filters, correct?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to create a context filter on top of subcategory, add to context, simple option, add to
Okay.
context. So what has happened? What are all the functionalities you have came across? Just tell me what happened
It's
in
still the
the
same subcategory and category, but the color, subcategory is grayed out.
right. Subcategory is grayed out. That's what I said here. It shows in gray color in the filter shelf. Okay.
Okay.
And as I said, it lists top in the filter shelf, right? It lists
Mhm.
top in the filter shelf. These 2 points. With one simple context filter, when you apply context filter, it shows in a gray color in the filter shelf and it lists top. Now, whenever I'm going to apply category as a context, which one will showcase top, whether category or subcategory? Now I'm going to convert category into context.
So subcategory will still show tops.
Okay, let's add to context. I can see category in top.
Okay, yeah.
Why?
Because it was the most recent context filter you added.
Okay. So let's do this. Remove from context.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to add context, right?
Mm-hmm.
Add to context. Let's see.
Yeah.
So it's not changed. That's a
Okay.
good point actually. Most recent, but it's not changed.
Mm-hmm.
So it will take the alphabetical order. It's not like a
Oh,
parent and child or most recent. At least
okay.
that's a very good point. Thank you for that. But it won't change based on the most recent. It's purely based on the alphabetical order. So if I'm going to add city, CI, right? CACI, show filter. Now where it comes, whenever I'm going to add to context, at what position you can see city filter? Anyone?
Second position.
Great. You can see second position. The category, city, and even you can add any filters, year of order date, add to context. You can see order date, but we have Y, right? The naming convention Y. This is after S, year of.
Oh, Ramesh, it goes by the alphabetical order.
Yes, it goes by alphabetical order. Okay. So that's a context filter. That's the context filter where we can showcase in gray color and it will stop in the filter shelf.
So
And
how would you define the context filter? Like, what does it do?
yeah, that's what I'm going to explain now.
Okay.
Okay, so context filter is why we go for context filter. That's a very good question. It's not mandatory. Whatever the regular filters we have seen, it's not mandatory similar to all the filters. Context filter is something where we can try. We can try if we have any performance issues, but it's not 100%. Okay, I'm not saying that it will give a better performance when you use context filter. There are cases where you can see differentiation in the filters. If you use context filter, there might be a flexibility to improve the performance of the report. Not report, sorry, the filter selection. There's slight difference I have seen. So that's the reason it is not a mandatory filter. Okay, if you're dealing with huge number of records, you can just try to check the context filter. If that gives a better performance than the regular filter, maybe you can try on that. I'll showcase that's what the analysis, how to do that particular analysis I'll showcase after the course, so you don't worry much. So remove from context. So I'll showcase the difference. As I said, right, there is a differentiation. Like you can, when you apply context filter, you didn't see much difference. You can see here, let's say single value list. When you click on furniture, office supplies, technology, you didn't see any differentiation between regular filter and context. That's what the point I mean to say. So no differentiation here till now. But where we can see the differentiation is, that's what the third point, independent filter, right? So we can see the differentiation whenever if we are going to apply any condition. Okay. If we have any calculations or conditions, not all the calculations, but if you apply any condition, right, you can see the differentiation in the results when you apply context filter. I'll showcase an example. Okay. I'll showcase the difference between regular filter and context filter now. So just concentrate this example. So I'm going to apply top 10, okay? Top 10 based out of subcategory. Go back to top 10 records. And let me recreate a report, which is category wise, subcategory wise sales. So that you'll, sales is okay, sales is not important. but just for information purpose, I'm just using this. Even sales you can drop off. So how many number of records we do have for each and every category? So how many records for furniture? When you click, you'll get the number 4. How many records for office supplies? 9. How many records for technology? 4. Everyone has to remember this number, okay? 494, or at least remember for office supplies. Office supplies is 9, remaining 4, okay? Is that clear? 494. For office supplies, we have 9 records. For category office supplies, we have 9 records, right? This is at subcategory level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Clear? And technology and furniture, we have 4 and 4. Now, why should we remember those numbers? I'll tell you. Go back or remove this filter. How many records we have? Furniture 4, office supplies 9, technology 4. So this is the last time. So you have to answer now. Okay. So just concentrate, please. I'll ask few questions. You need to answer. Okay. So now, whenever I'm going to apply the filter, like showing top 10, you need to tell me how many out of how many records we are getting 3. In furniture, how many total number of records? What is the total number of records in furniture for total number of subcategories?
4.
So we are getting 3 out of 4, correct? In top 10, we apply top 10, correct? In top 10, for furniture category, we are getting 3 out of 4. Clear? For office supplies, you can tell me total number of records and how many records we are getting in top 10.
We had 9.
Great. And we are getting 3 out of 9 in top 10. For technology, please tell me for technology as well.
You got 4 for 4.
4.
4 out of 4, correct? We are getting all the records in top 10. Perfect. So what I mean to say is, you can just remember those, or let me remove this just for an understanding. So we are getting we have top 10, and for each category, there are certain number of records. Now, when you click on furniture, how many records we do have in top 10 for furniture? 3. That is 3 out of 4, correct?
Yeah.
3 out of 9, 4 out of 4. So overall 10, but when you click on furniture, how many records you are able to see? 3 records, because in top 10 we have 3, right? In top 10 we have 3 office supplies. In top 10 we do have 4 technology records. So overall is 10. Perfect. No differentiation, nothing, everything is clear. Now, I'm going to use category into context. Okay. I'm going to apply category into context. Okay, let me remove, sorry. How many records overall? 10. Let me apply context. How many records we are able to see? 10. No differentiation, correct? When you apply context filter, still you are seeing 10 records. When you remove from context, even also we have 10 records, no differentiation. Let's go back to furniture. How many records we are able to see? 3. But in general, how many records we do have in furniture?
4.
Don't confuse here. We are able to see 3 records in top 10, but overall in furniture we have 4 records. Click on this drop down, Now add to context. Do you see any differentiation now?
Yeah.
Now we are able to see 4 records. When you remove from context, you can see 3. Let's go back to office supplies. How many records we do have? 3. My question is, whenever I'm going to convert into context, how many records we are able to see?
You'll see 9.
Excellent. We're able to get 9 records. Now let's remove from context. You can see only 3 in top 10. This is the actual result, okay? That 9 is different. Technology 4, anyhow, we are getting 4 out of 4. And when you convert into context, you can see any differentiation because we are getting all the records. So now let's go back to all. Now you'll get the clarity, right? So now you can see when you use regular filter, out of in top 10, we do have 3. Yes, we have 3 in top 10. So when you click on furniture, it has to showcase 3. Yes, that's correct. But whenever I'm going to convert into context for category, it is trying to display all the records. Across category level, it is trying to display all the records. We have only 4, but it's trying to display all the records here. Similarly, when you click on office supplies, we are getting all the 9 records, right? But when you can remove from context, we have only 3 in top 10. So that top 10 is calculating across subcategory level initially, but when you convert into context filter, it is trying to display all the records, right, across category level top 10. That's very important. I said category level top 10 because we have 9 records. If we have, let's say, my question is, let's say if we have more than 9, how many records we are going to get?
10.
We should get only 10 because we have a limitation called as 10. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you because we don't have 10. I will remove the or recreate the filter. So let's do this actually. I hope you got at least some clarity, but I'll tell you like how it works. Instead of top 10, let me use
Top 5.
5, right? Okay, let's go for 5. Okay, interestingly, we have everything in at least one record from each category, right? Now we have top 5. Even for top 5, yes, we can validate only office supplies because we don't have more than 5 records, or at least we don't have more than 4 records in furniture and technology, correct? At least we can verify office supplies data. Now, when you click on furniture, okay, I'll tell you one thing. I don't go for top 5. You'll understand. I'll go for top 3 because everything must be satisfied in this scenario. Now, luckily, we are getting 1 record from each category, right? In top 3. Now, when you select furniture, how many records will get?
Just 1.
Correct. Office supplies, 1. Technology, 1. Perfect. So this is what proper filtering, like when you click on all, we are able to see all the 3 because we applied only top 3, right? We just applied top 3. But now, whenever you are going to select furniture, I'm getting only 1 out of 3. That's correct. But when you convert into context filter, how many records we are able to see?
3.
Total number of records in furniture.
4. 4. 4.
But how many records we are able to see?
I thought it's
Let's
3.
verify. Thought 3. Okay, let's verify. Anyone? Any suggestions? Any answers? Important. Now you should get more clarity on this.
When you convert to context, you get 4.
Because we have total number of records 4 in furniture, correct? You mean to say?
Yeah.
Let's see. Add to context, we're getting 3. Yes, your point is correct. It will show 4, but we have a limitation is 3. It is trying to
Okay.
display 4. It is trying to display 4, but we have a limitation called as 3. That's what the point. That's what it's trying to behave as an independent filter. It is trying to display all the records. When you click on furniture, it is trying to display all the records. But yes, we have another filter which we are limiting top 3. Okay, that's the reason it's limiting 3. Similarly, that is what I want to showcase now. When you click on office supplies, we have 1. But when you click on add to context, overall number of records, total number of records in office supplies,
We have 9.
9. Perfect. Now, when you click on context, how many records we are going to see?
3.
3. Perfect. We have 9, but it will try to display 9 records, but we have a limitation called as 3, top 3. That's what we are able to see, only 3 records. Even for technology, we're able to see 3. When you remove from context, it will showcase only 1, because in out of top 3, we have each 1 record from category. But why it is behaving? What is the solution? So now let's go back to furniture. It will try to display, when you convert into context, it will try to display 3. But what is the actual number we should get? How
4.
many? No, not 4, right? Out of top 3, how many records we do have in furniture?
Oh, just 1.
1, right? That's what the solution. So don't consider all the records, because my intention is I want to go for top 3. And when you click on furniture, I should get only 1. But when you create context filter on top of category, I'm seeing an issue here. I should get only 1. So what you can do is you can convert subcategory into context. Let's see. Perfect. Now I'm getting 1. Now go back to all. I have top 3. Click on furniture, 1. Office supplies, 1. Technology, 1. Even if you don't convert into context filter, you'll see 1. So what is the difference between context and regular filter? So that means you have to apply, if there is any calculation or filter condition, better you need to convert all the filters. Let's say you have 10 filters, better you need to convert all the filters into context to get proper data. You understand, right? So that's what the independent filter concept. So sometimes if you're trying to create only one single filter as a context, if you don't have a condition, right? If you don't have a clear filter, let's clear filter. If you don't have any filter condition, so that's okay. Like you can apply, yes, you can apply one filter as a context. Nothing much differentiation here. So it will showcase all the values for category. You didn't see any differentiation between regular filter and context. But if you have a calculation, kind of a top 10 and bottom 10 or something, whatever the calculation or filters or any calculations. So I'll showcase in the calculation as well. So there you can see the differentiation with context filter. So my suggestion is better if there is any calculations or conditions, better you can convert both the filters, or if you have multiple filters, you need to convert into context filter. Clear all? So context filter is an independent filter. It shows in gray color. It lists top in the filter shelf. The only differentiation is sometimes if there is any calculations or filter condition, you can see the differentiation if you don't apply few of the filters as context. Okay. So that's the only difference. That is what it's not mandatory to go for context, but very, very important for interviews, right? In interviews, they will ask this particular question. For sure, like 10 out of 10, I can tell 10 out of 10 interviews, right? They will ask this question, like, what is context filter?
Okay, so Ramesh, maybe I should direct this question to you and John. John, so how does the question come in an interview session? How do they ask the questions? And what should be the ideal response? John, are you there? Or Ramesh, you can
Yeah,
respond. Yeah.
yes. I've done most of the interview that I've had.
Mm.
If I've had maybe, let me just say, example 20, they've asked contest filter like 18 times.
So how does the question?
So they normally ask that they'll just tell us what is contest filter, and also explain a project where you use contest filter.
Okay.
You know? And yeah, so Ramesh, if you can throw more light on that. Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah. Basically, it's a straightforward question they will ask, because maybe if you worked on context filter, they will ask like, did you worked on context? Tell me what scenario you applied. You can tell that. That's what I'm going to tell you the differentiation. Okay. I'll tell you the differentiation. Why do we go for context, or why do we go for regular filter? Or I'll showcase one of the kind of a workshop. Okay, after completion of the course, I'll showcase an example. Okay, which is we called a performance related one. So now let's put aside. Okay, I'll show
Okay.
the difference, which one we do feel better, and I'll tell you proper scenario so that it will be more clarity.
Okay.
But it's a
Ramesh,
straightforward question. Yes. Hello. Yes.
can I contribute something here?
Yeah.
Just so I know I'm understanding this. So basically, from what you've done, I think you apply context filters to try to apply your filters to all categories and subcategories of your data so that you get the results you're looking for. So you're applying the context of whatever filter you put on there, you want it to apply to every category and subcategory so you get more accurate data in your analysis. Does that seem to be what the context filter does?
Yes. Whatever you said is perfect. It's 100% perfect. But what I mean to say is the only differentiation we can see when it comes like calculation. It's a regular filter. Like even though it's also a regular filter, we are able to filter out some part of data related to furniture and like not furniture, like category wise, subcategory wise sales. And we are doing some analysis based on category wise subcategory data elements, right? But context filter, when it comes like context, so the first 2 points are straightforward. It shows in gray color and it will stop in the filter shelf. But when you dig into this particular point, right? When you dig into this second point, so you'll understand in a better way. It clearly tells that if it is listing in the top, right? If it lists top in the filter shelf, what it does, that means context filter is going to apply first. Let's say if you have 10 filters, right? Which filter applies first? Context filter, right? First it will evaluate, it will check with context filter. It will apply the filter for this report. So the process for applying the filter, right? So basically it will start with context filter, because if it is list top in the filter shelf. But that's not a big deal actually. Basically, you don't worry much about that. That's what I meant to say. So context filter, even I will showcase the differentiation in the calculation. When you, that's a very important point actually. So no one, I think no one in the sense like, we don't use actually context filter in few of the calculations, but I will convert one of the exceptional concept into that's we'll discuss actually in the like calculation part. You didn't understand now. We have a concept called as level of details, which I say, right, they introduce quick LODs, but we can convert level of details into table calculation results by using context filter. That's an exceptional conversation. It's not mandatory, but we can convert level of detail calculation into context, like table calculation results by using context. So that is also possible. I'll showcase that practically. So
Ramesh, what do you mean by calculations?
calculations is like we have done this, right? Like where it is. It's not in this particular filter. Like we have done filters on dimensions, and we have written a condition, right?
Or is
Calculate
it asking that you say
this create a
when like
calculation.
a statement here?
Yes, yes. If sum of sales, something
If
like that.
oh okay.
So this is a calculation. You can see this. These are calculation fields. You can create as many a number of calculations.
Okay. Are you going to teach on that?
That is a major part actually in Tableau. So we are going to
Okay.
spend some better time on calculations,
Okay.
functions,
Okay.
level of details, table calculations. It's half of the course on calculations.
Okay, that's fine. So we don't jump the gun.
Yeah, yeah. Still any questions?
Yeah. Ramash, what if if you have more than 3 tables in your categories, like the furniture, office supply, and technology, like you have more, and do you still need when they say you should apply filters to get like top 3 also?
No, irrespective of categories, like if you have furniture, office supplies, and technology, luckily, as I said, right, we are getting few records from one of the category, right? You don't worry about whether you are getting top 3 or top 5 or top 10 from these categories. You don't worry about the data. The functionality is important, okay? So when you select office supplies, you're able to fetch 9 records, but you need to, if you have a condition, right? Let's go for condition, and you can apply top 10. Okay, so now I'm able to see all the 9 records, but when you click on all, we are able to fetch 10 records. That's top 10. So what I mean to say is when you apply context filter, you can see the differentiation in the results if you have any condition. If you don't have any condition, you cannot see any differentiation between context and regular filter. That's what the only point.
Okay.
But data wise, you don't worry. Data wise, whether it is technology or office supplies or furniture, it will be something like across the level. So across furniture level, how many records we are displaying? 4. But overall, how many records we are displaying? 10. But when it comes like furniture, how many records we are getting? 3. For context, we are able to see 4. For regular, for all, we are able to see 3. That's the differentiation. So the only thing is across that level, how many records we are able to see. Let's say not only category, subcategory, you can also even use state-wise, city-wise sales, or country-wise, region-wise, or something like that. Anything, any dimension, any measure. So you can just try to apply a condition, just verify the differentiation in the results.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.